There comes a moment in every person's life when everything feels like it's falling apart. You've tried. You've worked. You've sacrificed. And yet, nothing seems to move. You look around, and it feels like everyone else is winning. Everyone else is progressing. Everyone else is living the life you once dreamed about. And you? You're stuck. Tired. Questioning everything. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just give up. But listen carefully. This is the exact moment where most people quit. And that's exactly why most people never succeed. Fire the hidden truth about success. Success doesn't come when things are easy. Success doesn't show up when you're motivated, excited, and full of energy. Success shows up when you're exhausted. When you're doubting yourself. When everything inside you is telling you to stop. And you choose to keep going anyway. That's the difference. Not talent. Not luck. Not background. Persistence. Construction. You are closer than you think. What if I told you? You might be just one step away. One more try. One more late night. One more failure. One more lesson. People often quit right before their breakthrough. Think about that. They go through years of struggle. They build discipline. They gain experience. They get stronger. And then, right at the edge of success, they walk away. Not because they failed, but because they didn't realize how close they were. Thought balloon. The illusion of failure. Failure feels real. It feels heavy. It feels final. It feels like proof that you're not meant for greatness. But failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every mistake you've made. Every rejection you've faced. Every time things didn't go your way. It wasn't wasting your time. It was preparing you. Sharpening you. Building something inside you that success requires. Crossed swords. The battle you don't see. People see success. They see the result. The money. The recognition. The lifestyle. But they don't see the nights you cried. They don't see the times you wanted to quit. They don't see the loneliness, the pressure, the fear. Success is built in those unseen moments. It's built when no one is clapping for you. When no one believes in you. When even you don't believe in yourself. And still, you keep going. Brain. Your mind will try to stop you. Your mind is designed to protect you. It wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants you to avoid pain. So when things get hard, your mind says, stop. This is too much. This isn't working. But growth lives outside comfort. Success lives outside safety. If you listen to that voice every time, you'll never reach your potential. Light bulb. The turning point. Every successful person has a moment. A breaking point. A moment where they could have quit. But they didn't. That moment doesn't look special. There are no lights. No music. No audience. Just a decision. A quiet, powerful decision. I'm not done yet. Hourglass. Not done. Patience is the secret weapon. We live in a world that wants everything fast. Fast money. Fast success. Fast results. But real success doesn't work like that. It takes time. Time to grow. Time to learn. Time to fail and try again. The problem is, most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're impatient. They expect results too soon. And when it doesn't happen, they quit. Key. What you need to do right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. You need to make a decision. Not a loud one. Not a public one. A real one. A decision that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, you will not stop. Seedling progress you can't see. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Think about a seed. When you plant it, nothing happens on the surface. Days go by. Weeks go by. Still nothing. But underneath, roots are growing. Strength is building. Preparation is happening. And one day, it breaks through the ground. Rocket, your breakthrough is coming. Not by luck. Not by accident. But because you refused to quit. Because you kept showing up. Because you kept pushing forward. Because you kept believing, even when it was hard. If you're tired, keep going. If you're doubting, keep going. If you feel like giving up, this is your sign. You are closer than you think. Don't stop now. There's something they don't tell you about the journey to success. It gets lonely. Not the kind of lonely where no one is around you, but the kind where no one understands you. You're surrounded by people, family, friends, society. But inside, you feel like you're carrying a weight that no one else can see. You have dreams they don't understand. You have goals they don't believe in. You have a vision that only you can see. And that's where the real test begins. New moon when support disappears. At the beginning, people clap for you. Good idea. Go for it. You can do it. But when results don't come fast, that energy changes. Maybe you should try something else. Be realistic. This isn't working. And slowly, the same people who once supported you start doubting you. Some won't say it directly, but you'll feel it. In their silence. In their tone. In the way they stop asking about your progress. Broken heart, the pain no one sees. There are nights when you sit alone, staring at your phone, wondering if all of this is worth it. You replay your efforts in your head. All that work. All that time. For what? You start comparing yourself. Why is it working for them? What am I doing wrong? Am I just wasting my life? And the hardest part? You don't have clear answers. Just doubt. Just fear. Just silence. Man, standing a real-life story that feels like yours. Imagine someone, not famous, not rich, not special. Just a normal person, like you. They decide to build something. Maybe it's an online business. Maybe it's content creation. Maybe it's a skill they want to master. At first, they're excited. They wake up early. They stay up late. They give everything they have. Weeks pass. No results. Months pass. Still nothing. They post content, no views. They try to sell, no customers. They improve, no recognition. People start asking questions. Is it working? How much have you earned? When will you stop this? And slowly, doubt creeps in, warning the breaking point. One day, they almost quit. Not because they're lazy. Not because they don't care. But because they're tired of feeling like they're moving in the dark. They sit there, thinking, maybe this just isn't for me. That moment, that exact moment, that's where most people give up. Fire, but here's the difference. Some people quit in that moment. But a few, a very small few, do something different. They don't suddenly become confident. They don't suddenly become fearless. They're still scared. still uncertain, still tired. But they say one thing: let me try one more time. Collision, the power of one more time. One more video. One more attempt. One more improvement. One more day of not giving up. And here's what's crazy. That one more time often changes everything. Because success doesn't come from one big action. It comes from small actions, repeated, when you feel like quitting. Chart decreasing what failure actually looks like. Failure isn't one big moment. It's quiet. It's slow. It looks like trying and getting no response. Working and seeing no reward. Improving but still being unnoticed. And that's why it hurts so much. Because it doesn't feel dramatic. It feels endless. Brain, your mind will lie to you. During this phase, your mind becomes your biggest enemy. It starts telling you stories. You're behind. You're not good enough. This will never work. Others are better than you. But here's the truth. Your mind is reacting to lack of visible results. Not lack of progress. You are improving. You are getting better. You just can't see it yet. Sunrise over mountains, the story you never hear. We hear about success stories. But only at the end. We see the results. Not the years of struggle behind them. The failures. The doubt. The times they almost quit. Those parts are hidden. But they're real. And more importantly, they're necessary. Pressure creates strength. Think about this. Diamonds are created under pressure. Not comfort. Not ease. Not shortcuts. Pressure. And right now, if life feels heavy, if things feel hard, if you feel like you're being tested, that's not punishment. That's preparation. Counterclockwise arrows button the cycle you must break. Most people live in this cycle. Try, fail, feel bad, quit. But successful people do this instead. Try, fail, learn, adjust, try again. Same failure. Different response. Different result. Rocket, you are not starting from zero. Even if it feels like it. You're not starting over. Every attempt you've made has given you something. Experience. Awareness. Strength. Discipline. You're not the same person you were when you started. And that matters. Candle the light at the end. There comes a moment. Not when you expect it. Not when everything is perfect. But suddenly, things start to move. A small result. A small win. A small sign that it's working. And then another. And another. And you realize something powerful. It was working all along. You just couldn't see it yet. If you feel alone. If you feel tired. If you feel like no one understands your journey. Good. Because that means you're walking a path that most people are too afraid to take. And if you're at your breaking point right now, don't quit. Not yet. You didn't come this far just to stop here. There's a moment in every long journey where motivation dies. Not fades. Not weakens. It disappears. Tornado when motivation is gone. In the beginning, you were excited. You had energy. You had passion. You had a reason. But now, you wake up tired. You don't feel like doing the work. The fire you once had feels cold. And this is where people make a dangerous mistake. They think something is wrong. They think, I've lost my passion. Maybe this isn't for me anymore. Maybe I should stop. But here's the truth most people never learn. Motivation was never meant to last. Gear discipline is what takes over. Motivation gets you started. But discipline, that's what carries you to the finish line. Discipline is showing up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is working when no one is watching. Discipline is continuing, even when nothing feels rewarding. It's not exciting. It's not emotional. It's quiet. It's repetitive. It's sometimes boring. But it's powerful. Brick building an unbreakable routine. At this stage, success stops being about feelings and starts being about systems. You don't ask, "Do I feel like doing this today?" You decide, "This is who I am. This is what I do." No debate. No negotiation. No excuses. You remove the option to quit. Brain the identity shift. This is where everything changes. Not outside, but inside. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to succeed, and you start seeing yourself as someone who doesn't quit. That identity is powerful. Because when your identity changes, your actions follow automatically. Fire from trying to becoming. Before, you were trying to stay consistent, trying to improve, trying to succeed. But now, you're not trying anymore. You've become the type of person who shows up no matter what, keeps going no matter how it feels, finishes what they start. That shift is what separates temporary effort from real success. Crossed swords the war with yourself. At this level, the biggest battle is not outside. It's internal. Every day, there are two voices. One says, "Rest. Skip today. It doesn't matter." The other says, "Keep going. Stay focused. You're not done yet." And every day, you choose which voice wins. What you do when no one is watching. Anyone can work hard when they feel good. Anyone can stay consistent when results are coming. But what about when you're tired? You're frustrated. You're getting nothing in return. That's where your real character is revealed. Because success is built in those invisible moments. Hourglass not done delayed results are part of the game. Here's something that frustrates almost everyone. Effort and results don't come at the same time. You put in work today, but results might come weeks later, months later, even years later. And that gap? That's where most people give up. Because they think nothing is happening. But something is happening. You just can't see it yet. Firecracker breaking your limits. At some point, you hit a wall. You feel like, this is my limit. This is all I can do. I can't push any further. But limits are not real. They're mental. And when you push past that feeling, you unlock a new level of yourself. A stronger version. A tougher version. A version that doesn't break easily. Compass focus becomes your superpower. Distractions are everywhere. Social media. People's opinions. Comparison. At this stage, you stop chasing everything. And you start focusing on one thing. Your path. Your progress. Your mission. You don't care who's ahead. You don't care who's behind. Because you understand something powerful. This is your race. Ice Cube emotional control. Earlier, emotions controlled you. If you felt bad, you stopped. If you felt tired, you slowed down. If you felt doubt, you hesitated. But now, you act despite your emotions. You feel fear, and move forward. You feel doubt, and continue. You feel tired, and still show up. That's control. And control creates consistency. Rocket momentum begins to build. At first, progress was slow, almost invisible. But now, because you've stayed consistent, because you've built discipline, because you didn't quit, momentum starts to build. Small wins turn into bigger wins. Efforts start to connect. Things begin to make sense. Sunrise over mountains, you start seeing the difference. You notice something. You're not the same person anymore. You're stronger, more focused, more patient, more resilient. Things that used to break you don't affect you the same way anymore. That's growth. Real growth. Fire the unstoppable mindset. At this point, something powerful happens. You stop asking, "Will I succeed?" And you start saying, "It's only a matter of time." That belief changes everything. Because now, failure is no longer the end. It's just feedback. Man climbing without looking down. You don't look back at how far you've come. Because you're focused on where you're going. You don't slow down for validation. You don't stop for comfort. You keep climbing. Step by step. Day by day. If you've reached this stage, you're no longer like most people. You've moved past motivation. You've built discipline. You've changed your identity. And now, you're becoming unstoppable. So don't stop here. Not now. Not when you've come this far. There's a stage in every journey where things start to feel different. Not easy. Not perfect. But different. You've been grinding for so long. Pushing through doubt, pain, silence. And now something shifts. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But quietly. Things begin to respond. Sunrise, the subtle signs of progress. At first, you almost miss it. A small win. A small improvement. A small result. Something that, months ago, felt impossible, now happens naturally. And you pause for a second and think, "Wait, did I just do that?" That's a sign. A powerful one. Magnifying glass tilted left. What most people get wrong here. This stage is dangerous. Not because you're failing, but because you're close. And when people get close, they do one of two things. They get comfortable. They lose focus. They think, "It's working now. I can relax." Or worse, they start chasing new things. Getting distracted. Breaking the discipline that got them here. And just like that, they lose momentum. Warning: this is not the time to slow down. If anything, this is the time to go harder. More focused. More disciplined. More committed. Because breakthroughs don't happen gradually forever. They happen in bursts. You struggle for a long time. And then suddenly, everything connects. Puzzle piece when it all starts making sense. The skills you've been building start working together. The mistakes you made now guide your decisions. The confusion you had before turns into clarity. And you realize something powerful. Nothing was wasted. Every failure, every delay, every hard moment was building this. Brain confidence starts from evidence. Before, you were trying to believe in yourself. Now, you don't have to force it. Because you've seen proof. You've survived hard days. You've stayed consistent. You've improved. Confidence is no longer just a feeling. It's based on evidence. Fire the final resistance. Right before a breakthrough, things often get harder. Pressure increases. Doubt tries to return. Unexpected challenges show up. It's almost like life is asking, "Are you really ready?" Most people don't realize this. They think, "Why is it getting harder again?" And they quit, not knowing they were one step away. This is the last test. This is where everything you've built gets tested. Your discipline, your patience, your mindset. Not in theory, but in reality. And the question is simple. Will you stay consistent, even now? The door is right there. Imagine this. You've been walking in a dark tunnel for a long time. No light. No clear direction. Just faith and effort. And now, far ahead, you see a small light. That's where you are right now. But here's the truth. Most people turn back because they're tired of the darkness, not realizing the exit was just ahead. Light bulb, you don't need a miracle. You don't need luck. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need everything to go your way. You just need one thing: consistency until it works. That's it. Simple. But not easy. High voltage, the breakthrough moment. And then, one day, it happens. Not always in a big, dramatic way. Sometimes quietly. Sometimes unexpectedly. But you feel it. Something works. Something clicks. Something finally moves. And in that moment, everything changes. Globe showing Europe, Africa. When the world finally sees it, people start noticing. Wow, you're doing well now. You got lucky. Overnight success. But you know the truth. It wasn't overnight. It was built in silence. In struggle. In discipline. In moments no one saw. Man climbing, but this isn't the end. Here's something important. The breakthrough is not the finish line. It's the beginning of a new level. New challenges. New expectations. New responsibilities. But now, you're ready. Because of everything you've been through. If you've made it this far, you're closer than you've ever been. Don't slow down. Don't lose focus. Don't quit now. This is the moment where everything changes. This is the moment most people miss. But not you. There's a moment. A quiet, powerful moment. Where everything finally makes sense. Not because life suddenly became perfect. Not because every problem disappeared. But because you changed. Milky Way, the day you realize who you've become. One day, you wake up. And something feels different. The same room. The same life. The same world. But you? You're not the same. The things that once overwhelmed you don't shake you anymore. The doubts that once controlled you are now just background noise. The fear that once stopped you no longer has power. And you sit there for a moment, thinking, I made it through. Looking back at the old you, you remember the days you almost quit. The nights you questioned everything. The moments you felt lost, tired, and alone. You remember sitting there, wondering if it would ever work. Wondering if you were wasting your time. Wondering if you should just give up. And now, you wish you could go back to that version of yourself. Look them in the eyes. And say, just hold on a little longer. Broken heart, the pain had a purpose. Every failure you hated. Every delay that frustrated you. Every moment that made you feel like you weren't enough. It all had a purpose. Not to break you, but to build you. Because if you had succeeded earlier, you wouldn't have been ready. you wouldn't have had the strength, the discipline, the mindset. You needed those hard days, even if you didn't understand them at the time. The real reward isn't what you think. Yes, success feels good. The results, the progress, the recognition. But the real reward? It's who you became in the process. The version of you that doesn't quit when things get hard, doesn't rely on motivation, doesn't break under pressure. That version of you is priceless. Brain the shift that changed everything. At some point, without even realizing it, you stopped chasing success, and you started becoming someone who naturally attracts it. Because success isn't something you get, it's something you grow into. Seedling, you didn't just reach the goal. You outgrew your old limits. You became stronger than your excuses, bigger than your fears, more focused than your distractions. And now, you understand something most people never do. The journey was the destination. Candle for the person listening right now. Maybe that's you. Right now. Still struggling. Still pushing. Still unsure. Feeling like it's not working. Feeling like you're behind. Feeling like quitting might be the only option left. If that's you, listen carefully. Speech balloon, this is your message. You are not failing. You are not wasting your time. You are not too late. You are in the middle of your transformation. And transformations are messy. They're slow. They're uncomfortable. They're full of doubt. But they work. You're closer than you think. You don't see it yet. But something is building. Something is forming. Something is getting ready to break through. And when it does, you'll look back at this moment and realize this was the point where everything almost ended, but didn't. High voltage, one final decision. So here it is. Not a complicated strategy. Not a perfect plan. Just a decision. A real one. Are you going to stop? Or are you going to keep going? Man climbing, because if you keep going, you will get stronger. You will get better. You will figure it out. It may take time. It may test you. It may push you to your limits. But it will be worth it. Sunrise over mountains, the future you is waiting. There's a version of you. Stronger. Wiser. More confident. Living the life you once dreamed about. And that version of you is not far away. They're built by your actions today. By your decision right now. Final words. If you're tired, keep going. If you're doubting, keep going. If you feel like quitting, especially then, keep going. Because success is not far. It's not impossible. It's not out of reach. Collision success is closer than you think. And the only question left is, will you reach it? Or walk away right before it happens?